Playboy magazine is set to become a collector's item, more workers say their bosses are threatening to have them deported, and 2018 will see political upheaval throughout Latin America. Hello and welcome to today's edition of Mexico News Network's Breaking News Business. I'm your host, Elliot Bullman. Let's start with today's information. Playboy Enterprises Incorporated is considering taking its print magazine out of publication. The magazine was started more than 6 decades ago by the late Hugh Hefner, who died in September 2017. Hefner's death has now triggered a process that will shift ownership of the company from his family to the largest shareholder, private equity firm Rizvi Traverse, the Wall Street Journal reported on Tuesday. Ben Cohn, a managing partner at Rizvi who is Playboy Enterprises' chief executive, wants to shift the company's emphasis to brand partnerships and licensing deals. Cohn says the company wants to focus on what he calls the world of Playboy, which is so much larger than a small legacy print publication. The plan in 2018 is to transition from a media business to a brand management company. That shift involves seriously considering ending the print magazine, which began in 1953. US circulation has dropped to less than 500,000 copies an issue from a peak of 5.6 million in 1975, amid struggles in the broader print magazine industry. Playboy's print magazine, which now publishes 6 issues a year, has lost as much as $7 million annually in recent years, according to the Journal. In other news, complaints over immigration-related retaliation threats surged last year in California, according to the Labor Commissioner's office. Through December the 22nd, workers had filed 94 immigration-related retaliation claims with the office, up from 20 in all of 2016, and only 7 a year earlier. The cases include instances in which employers allegedly threatened to report workers to U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, after they raised issues over working conditions, including wage theft. Laws that took effect in 2014, specifically barring the practice, probably played a role in the increase of official complaints filed with the state agency, as workers become more familiar with their rights. But Labor Commissioner Julie Su and immigrant advocates say that the rise could be attributed to employers feeling more empowered to wield ICE as a weapon, given an increase in anti-immigrant rhetoric and stepped-up enforcement by ICE. The Trump administration has proved more willing than the Obama administration to arrest people who are convicted of minor crimes or who have no criminal history. In the last fiscal year, the arrests of people in the United States illegally with no criminal convictions more than doubled to over 37,000. In California, a so-called sanctuary state bill dramatically reduces whom state and local law enforcement agencies can hold, question, and transfer at the request of federal immigration authorities. Moving on. Some 350 million voters are due to head to the polls in Brazil, Colombia, Mexico, Venezuela, Costa Rica, and Paraguay to elect new presidents and, in several cases, potentially slam a defibrillator into their ailing political systems. Seizing the headlines in July will be Mexico, where Andrés Manuel López Obrador, the perennial candidate of the left, will face off against José Antonio Meade, the technocratic successor to Enrique Peña Nieto, amongst other candidates. Brazil's Michel Temer, the right-wing 77-year-old career politician who replaced Dilma Rousseff in last year's controversial impeachment, has seen his approval ratings plummet as low as 3%, amid widespread allegations of corruption, which have at times seemed to implicate Brazil's entire political class. In neighboring Venezuela, if allowed a free and fair ballot, voters will likely opt for change. But a divided opposition to embattled Nicolas Maduro has failed to convince enough people that it's a better proposal than hyperinflation, shortages of basic goods, and rampant crime. Honduras could see greater turmoil after its December presidential election was marred by serious allegations of fraud by the right-wing incumbent Juan Orlando Hernández. Cuba's leader, Raúl Castro, will step down, but his departure is unlikely to bring political or economic change. For most people in Latin America, electoral politics will be low down on the list of concerns. Across the region, economies will remain sluggish, jobs scarce, and pay low. And finally, let's turn to the markets. The Mexican peso decreased 0.1% to 19.32 from 19.34 in the previous trading session. On the other hand, the IPC Mexico decreased 0.5% to 49,782 from 50,034 in the previous trading session. This was all for today. Thank you for staying with us. I'm Elliot Bullman. Remember to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+, and log on to MexicoNewsNetwork.com for more information on Mexico and the world. Until next time.